All right. We're going to move into context clues today. Our first learning goal we're going to address is I will state what context clues are and explain why it is an important skill. So we're going to looking at what context clues are and what is their importance. So before we jump in, let's establish some purpose by thinking to what you already do. When you find an unknown term while reading a text, what action do you take to figure out the meaning of the unknown term? So what do you do as a student? Okay. I'm going to go with the second sentence starter. When I find an unknown term while reading, I usually skip the word or do not try to figure it out because I think looking up words takes too long and I don't want to fall behind in reading. Also, I don't really know where to look up words that I don't know. So what you have here is a common middle school student type of thinking. Most students, who especially those who are struggling readers, skip words they don't know. Unfortunately, that changes the meaning of the text sometimes, so it creates many issues. But this is pretty much what the average middle school student who struggles with reading, this is kind of what they think or they do. Okay, so let's get you some strategies to stop doing these behaviors that are not helping you learn. Okay, so let's start with what are context clues. Context clues are words or phrases surrounding a challenging or unknown word. So if you locate a word you don't know, all the words and phrases around it are context clues. Okay, that's the context basically. Context. Okay, context clues is an important skill because it allows me to figure out challenging words that I do not know while I am reading a text. So what you do with the context is you try and see if there is a clue. Not everything around an unknown word is a clue, but often there are clues, and that can give you an idea of what the word might mean. Why do context clues matter? First, context clues help us determine the meaning of challenging words without having to rely on a dictionary or someone else to help us. Okay, so you're not always going to have access to a dictionary, and so you need to have this type of tool in your toolbox so you can utilize it when you don't have the dictionary or someone else as a resource. Secondly, context clues help us determine if a word is being used positively or negatively. And the only reason this second part is important is it gives you an idea of what the word means. It gives you an idea of what the unknown word means. Okay, so by now we discussed what clues are and why they're important, right? How can you apply these in your life? We've addressed learning goal 1, so now we're ready for learning goal 2. State one guiding question that I will use to determine unknown words. So in this strategy of using context clues, there's a series of guiding questions you ask yourself. So let's go through those and we'll study those more in depth tomorrow. What is the sentence about when I read for understanding? So just making sure you read the sentence with the unknown word more than once to try to understand what it means. Question 2, are there any signal words that can give me any hints? So you might be thinking right now, what are signal words? Don't worry, we're going to study more about that this week, but I want you to have this guiding question in the back of your mind before we study exactly what are signal words. Question 3, based on the signal words that I see, what type of context clue is this? What does this clue tell me? So signal words are categorized by types. We're going to study that this week. So once you figure out the signal words, you can figure out the type of clues you're looking at, and then you can make a connection to what the clue tells you. So each type of clue tells you something different. Then, what does the word mean based on the clue found? So what does the word mean based on the clue found? And your final question, does my prediction make sense if I replace it in the space of the unknown word? Now you're ready to work on your form.